Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today, another update on my journey through Lost Epoch. And since I had, sadly, troubles with my cycle starter, which was the Unending Storm Rampage, Auto Bomber build, I've covered that in the last video where you just like stutter step, some echo layouts don't let you rampage, certain bosses cannot be done because, yeah, you're stuck with your rampage ability, and this kind of sucks. And even though I really enjoy this kind of playstyle and works like 95% of the time, there are certain occasions where it's super frustrating when you get like stuck or not being able to do certain content. And I hope this is going to get fixed soon. I still wanted to go ahead and continue the progression with another build. So I've tried out quite a bunch, if not almost every druid build, starting, as I said, from the Rampage Werebear. Then I started to do like some lightning swipe Werebear. Then I converted into the Swarm Blade build with the Arm Blade slashes, proccing tornadoes, proccing lightning bolts, and so on and so on. And in the end of the day, I went back to the build that I actually started the game with back in January when when it was the first time when I downloaded the game. And I remember when I asked Dreadful, which is probably a well-known content creator for Lost Epoch. He's like fire and flames for the game. And I invited him to a Discord call, just telling me the basics of the, when I level 1, like what can you do in this game, basically, right? And since he has like a Path of Exile history as well, and he's playing the game on and off ever since, I said like, yo, is there anything, I want to play Druid, this is like fact, right? But I want to play like some righteous fire style. I want to like super low maintenance, like run into monsters and just kill everything, right? And he said the perfect ability for that is basically coming from Maelstrom. And Maelstrom is basically pretty much dead. It's like kind of like a Blade Vortex, but it deals cold damage over time in everything that is in there, and you can scale the range and stuff like that. But this is like more focused about the actual damage component of this build. So this is now a Cold Dot Werebear build. This is what it's known for. And you basically have the same abilities as every like Werebear has, with the Rampage, with your Roar, Maul, as well as your Swipe. And this build heavily focuses on triggering certain abilities within your Werebear skills, okay? It sounds a bit complicated, but in the end of the day, we have Swipe, we have Warcry, we have Maelstrom, and Entangling Roots, as well as the Werebear form. So what the Werebear form does is, in one hand, this is a strength stacking character. We have the Wise and Claws node. You gain additional spell damage per point of strength while in Werebear form. Then we have the Ursine Storm. That means when we are out-attacking like Swipe and Maul, we have chance to proccing these Maelstrom stacks, as well as using the Woodland Bears. So after using Maul, you now cast Entangling Roots. And this is why we have the Entangling Roots over here. Entangling Roots is basically a dot-like kind of like a skill where it shoots out like a frontal wave. But you can convert this into cold damage, as well as getting the Overgrown Garden node, which means it procs in a circle. So when we're using Maul with the Woodland Bear ability, we're proccing this Entangling Roots. And how it looks like, you go in, you press your Maul, and you release this like shockwave of Entangling Roots, rooting enemies in place, and let them suffer from extreme cold damage. The next thing we have here on the Werebear skill is the... Wait, was it? Where you are basically... Oh yeah, so Maelstrom, Warcry. There is a note here on the bottom left side of the screen, like right where my cam is. It's the Whirlpool node. Now you now cast Maelstrom when you Warcry. So basically, when we Warcry, which is basically our Roar skill in the Werebear form, we're proccing a bunch of the Maelstrom stacks, and this is basically how the gameplay looks like. You charge into packs, you Maul for freezing everything and dotting everything up, and you Warcry basically on cooldown, and your main damaging ability is actually the Maelstrom, while the Maul, like the Entangling Roots, are helping with the clear speed. Then we have our swipe ability with the aspect of the Panther, means when we are attacking enemies, we're getting a buff, and that is giving us global damage or extra damage on our Entangling Roots and our Maelstrom stacks. So gearing wise, I still have like a bunch of stuff from my previous builds. There is partly like crit multi and stuff on my gear, which is completely irrelevant for this build, but this is just like when you go into a build, you know, and then you find out, okay, maybe I want to try something else. Either you level up a new character, or you just say, okay, I'm going to adapt my loot filter for cold damage over time, or elemental damage over time for cold damage and things like that, and start converting your previous build into the new one. So I would say let's run an empowered Echo, so you see how this playstyle looks like. I'm having like a lot of fun with this build. I think it's super chill. The only downside is dots cannot crit, so you don't gonna see fancy numbers over there. But we already reached like a couple thousand damage with our abilities, and there is you're always gonna make sure that you're gonna have enough rage to be able to cast your Entangling Roots, and you get rage on crit, rage on hit, basically. So this is like where our swipes comes in, right? And this is basically the playstyle. So you basically charge into a pack. Let's get the mage here. Roar to maintain our stacks of our Maelstrom, and then you just slam the ground, releasing this like massive shockwave, and just see everything basically burn. Then charge into the next pack. Always like keep your war cries up, so you're gonna stack more and more Maelstrom stacks, and if there's a lot of monsters, you just slam the ground and root everything, and just see the burn, which is, in my opinion, like a super chill, good clear speed build, where you just, you know, collect a bunch of monsters and just slam the ground, and it's like very, very, satisfying to play in that case. From the gearing part, as I said, there is like not anything that you really need on this build. Basically, you can just go ahead with just rare items. There is no core uniques that you want to have. There are certain uniques that are very good for the build, which is the Branch of Hollows, I think. There is a two-handed staff. If this is the Branch of Hollow, that will be so fucking omega lol. No, it's not. I was like, okay, because I'm currently farming this zone over here, which is the, I think the Stone Lands, which has like increased chances of dropping staffs and unique maces, and I'm currently farming this like the Hollow Branch or something with 1 LP, and try to slam on the elemental damage over time to give this character like a big damage boost, because you're also getting +2 elemental skills, or cold skills better said, and so you're gonna just get really nice levels on your Maelstrom and on your Entangling Roots, and just ramp up your damage more and more and more. But yeah, playstyle, as I said, super chill, super easy. Charge into pack, maul, release Entangling Roots, slap the enemies with your swipe if you don't have anything else, if everything else is on cooldown, basically, because you're basically just juggling your roar into maul, into roar, into maul, and just release like the stacks of Maelstrom as well as the Entangling Roots, and in the meantime you can still just hammer away with the swipe to get the aspect buff to increase your damage. So here's the end of the monolith, and you're gonna see how well this build plays into like clearing huge like almost the entire screen. And one cool side thing about the swipe, since this is like a dot build and not like an on-hit build, and swipe is more like an on-hit ability, but the main reason why we're using this is, as I said, getting the buff, which buffs our other abilities for global damage, but it also has Culling Strike. That means once we hit a certain HP threshold on the monster, I'm currently not sure what it is, should be 14%, so everything below 14% is just gonna get one shot, basically. So you just hammer away in boss fights and then just swipe to just kill it off. Let's get these couple of pieces, and Echo is complete. As I said, really enjoy this build, but there is one big problem that I have in this game, and this is like one of the downsides, which is actually an upside, but Problem is, there is so many freaking builds in this game, and if I go to YouTube and put in Last Epoch builds and stuff like that, you know, there is Rune Masters, there's Void Knight, Spin to Win, Cyclone. That's my WhatsApp, let me quickly close that, sorry for that. There is so many builds and so many things to try out, and that's why I'm currently struggling a little bit, because in one hand I want to like push this druid to level 100. We're currently level 91, so everything is working as intended, but there is also other builds. So I started to randomly level up other characters just to get different ideas about the game, different builds, just to figure out and find out what is the one that I personally enjoy the most. Because, as I said, I enjoy the druid playstyle and everything, but there is also like some downsides with playing a melee character. For example, you have to like, there's certain bosses where they have like some AoE ability, that just a massive explosion. You have to walk away instead of, or you get one shot. So you lose your damage uptime. So then I started playing some Totem Shaman, which just uses Thorn Totems and plays into Spriggan form. I played this build in the beta as well, had like a lot of fun with it. And yes, it's a totem build, but it is in Last Epoch, and totem builds are actually really, really strong. And this is like, you place down your turrets, and whatever the boss is doing, you can dodge. You have time to like run around while your totems have like 100% damage uptime. Then I also was like, hey, I could play some Void Knight, you know, Warpath, which is Last Epoch's Spin to Win, where you just go in, put your right click on like Warpath, and you just like, yeah, cyclone through the monsters and just annihilate everything. And there is some really cool interactions within the Void Knight with echoing your skills and stuff like that for additional damage. It's also like a lot of fun. And today I started playing a Rune Master because they have Lightning Blast, which is like the arc playstyle where you just shoot out a bunch of like lightning bolts. And you know, there's like so many freaking builds to discover and see, yo, what is actually the coolest one, what is the one that brings the most joy and fun to you. And that's then the one that I want to like push into like high corruption and arena gameplay and stuff like that. But I'm like so in this experience phase, and I really get some like big Path of Exile vibes for me, which not really is related to the game itself, but it's more like, what do you do over the day, right? I log in, I start streaming, I just run my echoes and farming my gear and level up a new character. And as soon as I stop the stream, I'm using the Last Epoch tools, the Maxroll site, the build planners, YouTube, what build is, what's the best mage builds, the best Void Knight builds, the best Paladin builds, and stuff like that, just to get an idea like how other characters are playing like. And if I see, yo, this looks cool, I want to, you know, start a character off stream and just start leveling it, see how it goes. You know, it's like really, I'm imprisoned in Last Epoch, but it's a good thing, you know, like there's so many things to find out, experience in the game. And yeah, I'm learning by doing, and we're gonna see how the upcoming days are gonna work out. I'm gonna keep you guys updated with the kind of like builds that I'm playing, just to show off some unique builds, basically, right? So you maybe find one yourself, or you say like, yo, MBX was playing this and that build lately and it looked really cool, I should probably reroll and whatnot. You know, it's a great game. That's all I can say. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next.